In a world where noise is currency, stillness becomes rare. Where everyone's shouting to be seen, the one who says nothing owns the room. He walks in, no smile, no need, but something shifts. Eyes turn, voices lower. The air thickens. Not because he demands it, but because he doesn't. This is the quiet force, not made of charm, but gravity. A presence that doesn't speak, but speaks louder than anyone. They don't know what it is, but they feel it. And now, you're about to become that presence. The loud don't lead, they distract. True power doesn't move fast, it waits, it watches. Stillness isn't absence, it's presence. Undisturbed, like a mountain in a storm, like a wolf that doesn't bark, like time that never explains itself. The Stoics understood what is still is not weak, it is composed. The more you move, the more you chase, the more you signal that you need something. But when you stand still, when your eyes don't dart, when your energy doesn't beg, they feel it. The weight, the self-possession, the control. This is not charisma, this is not charm. This is gravity. It pulls, without effort, without sound. People notice, but they don't know why. They just do, because stillness doesn't ask to be seen, it makes others see themselves. And that is power. Most people are performing, smiling for approval, talking to fill space, wearing masks that itch in silence, but some don't. They don't shrink for comfort, don't polish for applause. They just stand there, whole, raw, unfiltered, unapologetic, and that breaks through the noise, because authenticity is louder than performance, even in silence. You don't have to say, "This is who I am." They feel it, in the way you don't flinch, in the way you don't explain, in the way you just stay still when the world tries to move you. That's what draws people in, not what you say, but what you refuse to change. Your quirks, your rhythm, the scars you never try to hide. That kind of presence, it's not attractive, it's magnetic, because in a world of copies, originals are rare, and rarity is irresistible. You don't need to be impressive, just untouchably yourself. That's the shift. They won't admire you, they'll remember you. Before you speak, you've already said everything. The way you enter, the way you pause, the way your eyes hold the silence. People read bodies before they ever hear words. They see if your back is folded, or if you carry yourself like nothing's missing. They see if your hands twitch, or if they rest steady like you've been here before. Posture is not performance, it's memory. It remembers what you believe about yourself. Even when you forget, you don't fake presence, you embody it. Head up, not to look proud, but because there's nothing to hide. Shoulders back, not to intimidate, but because you're not collapsing under anyone's weight. Movement, slow. Eyes, deliberate. Breath, unshaken. No panic, no begging, no performance. This is not dominance, this is alignment. When your inner world is still, your body becomes truth. And when truth walks into a room, everyone notices. Not because it says something, but because it doesn't need to. Style isn't about standing out. It's about standing true. You don't need to be trendy, you need to be congruent. The colors, the cuts, the weight of the fabric on your skin, it all speaks. Not loud, but clear. They'll never say it out loud, but people feel when your look is honest, when what you wear matches who you are. It doesn't have to impress, it just has to align. A plain black shirt, worn like armor, a coat that moves like it belongs to you. Boots that don't scream, but stand. That's not fashion, that's signaling. Not for attention, but for certainty. This man knows who he is, and everything on him agrees. You don't need logos, you need intention. Not loud colors, but clear lines. The Stoics didn't wear to decorate, they wore to reveal. What they valued, what they carried, what they refused to compromise. That's what makes style powerful. It's not what you put on. It's what you no longer need to hide. Because when your outside doesn't argue with your inside, people notice. Not because you're flashy, but because you're whole. They won't say he's stylish, they'll say nothing, they'll just keep looking. Discipline doesn't speak, it doesn't ask for praise. It just shows in the quiet, in the way you say no, in the way you show up even when no one's watching. No quotes, no motivation, just decisions made in silence. And that silence, it leaves a mark. They don't see your habits, they see the results of them. The still eyes, the rested posture, the controlled breath when things go wrong. They feel the structure in your presence, like a blade hidden under cloth. This man doesn't chase pleasure. He doesn't need permission. He moves like every action has been decided hours ago, and it has. While they slept, he worked. While they scrolled, he shut down the noise. While they explained, he executed. That's why his silence is heavy. It carries everything he's built and everything he's walked away from. Discipline is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is routine, done ruthlessly. And that's what people feel, even if they can't name it. Not admiration, not envy, but respect. The kind born from seeing something unmovable. You don't have to preach self-control, just live it, and it will speak through everything else. Don't dart, don't glance, don't look, and then run. Hold, let it land. The eyes are not for decoration, they're for declaration. When you look and don't flinch, you say everything you need to. Not aggressive, not soft, just unwavering. Not, do you accept me? But I'm already here. Most can't hold eye contact because most are not present, they're performing or hiding. But when you look and you stay, they feel it in their chest. It's not about staring, it's about being still, behind your eyes. No judgment, no approval, just awareness, sharp and steady. The Stoics said, control your mind and your gaze will follow, because the man who can hold eye contact can hold pressure, hold tension, hold himself. And that shakes people more than any words. Silence isn't empty, it's full. Full of presence, full of awareness, full of everything that doesn't need to be said. Most fear silence because in it they hear themselves. But not you. You live there. You move in quiet. You speak without sound. Silence is your weapon, not to harm, but to reveal. When you say nothing, they notice everything. Your rhythm, your intent, the way your energy doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't ask. That's why it hits harder than words. Because it forces them to pay attention, to fill in the blanks, to wonder what you're thinking. And that wondering, that's where attraction begins. It's not about mystery, it's about control. You don't talk just to fill space. You don't speak to be liked. You speak when it's time. And until then, you let the silence build, like thunder, like storm, like pressure in the air before something breaks. Your silence is not retreat, it's readiness. And the more you own it, the more they feel the weight. Not as absence, but as power. That doesn't need to announce itself. The most respected man isn't the one who pleases. It's the one who doesn't need to. He doesn't adjust his tone, doesn't mirror the room, doesn't wait for permission to be himself. He's not rude, he's just complete. And completion doesn't beg for validation. In a world obsessed with being liked, he's comfortable being misunderstood. That's what makes him untouchable. They can't shake him, because they don't hold his anchor. He does. He doesn't chase applause, he chases alignment. What he says matches what he thinks aligns with what he believes. And what he believes, he lives. No signals, no approval seeking, just presence, the kind that doesn't shift in any room. You can feel it in how little he needs from you. That kind of presence, it commands without controlling, it leads without asking. And in silence it roars, not please accept me, but I accept myself. That's what Stoicism was always about. Not suppression, but self-sovereignty. Not still, like stone, still, like mastery. And that is what people can't look away from. They won't know why, but they'll feel it. They'll pause mid-sentence when you enter the room. They'll soften their tone, without meaning to. They'll look twice, then pretend they didn't, because something about you doesn't try, doesn't reach, doesn't ask. It just is. A stillness they can't decode, a presence they can't explain, a silence that doesn't echo. It pulls, not by effort, but by essence. And long after you've left, they'll still remember. Not what you said, but what they felt, standing near someone who never needed to be noticed, to be unforgettable.